Ibn Battuta was extremely marveled at the splendor of Mogadishu. In 1516, the Portuguese navigator Du Wait is quoted saying, "It is a very big town. It is ruled by a sultan. It undertakes much commerce of different merchandise, and many ships arrive here from the big kingdom of Cambaya, bringing large quantities of clothes of different types and different goods and spices." And again in the 18th century, Sultan Said bin Said of Oman calls it the most brilliant of all the princesses of Arabia. The first Benadir communities were established in what is today southern Somalia about 1,000 years ago. Their reputation as the settlements of a prosperous and peace-loving people was set down in written accounts by foreign travelers to Africa dating back to the 13th century. The Benadir Coast, as a proper name for coastal northeast Africa, was used well into 20th century, and as informal designation for southern Somalia remains in use today. Benadir port city of Hama eventually became Mogadishu, Somalia's capital. The Benadir people continued to live their ancient stone homes of their forebears built in Mogadishu's old quarter. These early settlers have established centers of commerce, doing business with traders from as far as India and China. In the 10th century, along the Benadir coast, shoe factories and textile plants were established, and the entire production of clothes was exported to Arab countries, Persia, India, China and other centers along the East African coast. The construction of buildings and mosques with great artistic value was another feature of that time. So sophisticated with urban culture and extraordinary literate background, these early settlers along the coast of the Indian Ocean were described by foreign visitors as people bound together by ties of citizenship and not by tribal relationships, remarking on their identification with locality and not by tribal affiliations. Mogadishu then was already a center of Islamic learning and culture. The citizens were wealthy, and Ibn Battuta comments on their good food and well-to-do appearance. Muhammad Abati, a Benadir scholar and coordinator of the Benadir community in New Zealand, says the following: "The Benadir people suffered much loss and devastation, yet they rose to the challenge and survived, though not within the boundaries of their home. The buildings of old Mogadishu, Marka, Barawa and Kismayu, which the Benadir ancestors founded with their meager resources more than 1,000 years ago, have been destroyed. But our history remains intact. This will continue to stand as long as we are proud of who we are, treasure our past and preserve it for future generations."